So recently I dropped a video going over the now super buffed Secret Garden. This is a tactical special rounds weapon that previously had a pretty solid crit rate, but after the previous update got a massive crit bonus that made it, in my opinion, one of, if not the best special rounds weapon for bossing. I did get quite a few comments of players saying that it took them over a week just to get one copy, and seeing that I have farmed multiple copies and just about done with it, I wanted to go over what I did to get this weapon relatively quickly in hopes to make the farm a little bit easier for you guys. I don't want to waste too much more time, so let's dive right on into this video. Alright, so we're in the game now, and as I said in my previous video where I went over like how to farm a weapon, this video is purely with the intention of trying to help you guys actually get the weapon as quickly as possible, because my route was relatively quick. I was able to get this weapon done pretty much in one day if I really put the effort forth. Keep in mind, I do not control the RNG of this game. RNG will get you sometimes, so your results may vary depending on your RNG, but again, this is what worked for me, so let's go over it. First things first, I am a content creator who like to provide proof of what I say and what I do, and as you can see here, I already have the base copy of the Secret Garden as well as 2 additional copies, and as you can see here, I can craft almost every piece. Once again, I just need to go grab a quick blueprint, which is actually fairly easy to get, and then we'll be done with the Secret Garden. I'm not showing you this to flex, guys. I just like to show this to you so you guys can actually see proof of concept. With that out of the way though, let's go over each individual piece so we know exactly where to get them. So first things first, we're going to be starting off with the Secret Garden blueprint. And the amorphous material that I use is number 54. Now when it comes to the reason why I use this, is a combination of reasons. The main being, one, obviously is 32% drop chance. I think most of them have that. It's pretty easy to get the blueprint. But another reason is because of the acquisition location. It is the Fallen Theater Vulgus strategic outpost. This is one of the first outposts you actually attack in the game. And on top of this, you actually need the low carbon activators for your energy activator, which is a very integral craft for progression of the game. And as you can see here, you can get this from the Fallen Grand Theater. So you actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You get to farm one of the resources that you need for your energy activator, which is absolutely mandatory if you're playing this game. And then on top of that, it's an easy, very accessible. And then the linked void fusion reactor is this one, which farms inorganic. It has a pretty high inorganic, but the great thing about this one is you can come to the Agna Desert in the Vermilion Waste and do this mission here. And this one has a really great location for bunny. You can just run in a circle and get it. I almost always find a bunny over here doing it. So even if you're like a Sharon player, you can come here and find someone and it'll drop the same resources heavily into organic and a little bit of inorganic. The inorganic is a little lower here, but the organic's higher. That worked out perfectly for that one because, well, that one is much more heavy into the organic. So ideally, I find this to be like really easy to get. Next, we have the Secret Garden Nano Tube. And for this one, we will farm, I have a few others because they just randomly drop, but the one that I use specifically is number 88. That's for a couple of reasons. One, obviously Ultimate ADAS code is a very desirable thing, especially for Ultimate Descendant. When trade eventually does come, you can get it. Crystallization Catalyst is desirable, and to finish the Python is also pretty nice. And in order to actually crack this bad boy open, it's in the same location as the Vermilion Waste, which will be this one right here. And since the previous one, the blueprint that we're using, is going to have you farm this one in order to crack it open, you're already going to be here getting the same resources for your other one to crack open for the blueprint. So you can actually do both of these at the same time, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Next, we have the Secret Garden Synthetic Fiber, and this one, as you can probably tell, I have a ton of this one, and this one's the easiest one to farm in my opinion. And for this one, I target specifically number 61. Now number 61 will give you Ultimate Lepic code, which is actually pretty desirable for anyone who wants to make an Ultimate Lepic, the Energy Activator Blueprint, and of course the 32% drop chance for the Synthetic Fiber, which is actually fairly easy to get. You even have a Devotion Blueprint Polymer thingamabobber, so it's actually fairly good stuff on this one. On top of that, it actually has a really solid outpost. This one is, you're going to have to use Sharon for it, which is a little unfortunate. But this one is a very easy outpost. You can easily crack this open with a Sharon, like base Sharon with just duration mods. You'll be able to complete this one really easy. And on top of that, in order to crack it open, is going to be using this one here in the Rockfall Zone. And as you can tell, I have a ton of mono shards as well as a ton of polymer shards. And the reason why I really like using this one is because just short of every player who is leveling stuff is going to be like have a lot of these monomer void shards, because a good portion of us, or at least majority from what I can tell, come to the bunny cave for XP to like upgrade our weapons and grind it. If you haven't, then unfortunately you're gonna have to come here and level up your weapons, and bunny cave is like super sought out for leveling things up. So I like to come here because I have a ton of those shards, and it's very easy to crack it open and get it. It's very low effort, but in my opinion that would be the best one, because you're going to have access to this one fairly easy. And once again, Bunny is a very accessible character because you get it for free. Finally, we have the Secret Garden Polymer Sin whatever, and this is going to be another fairly easy one to acquire. And personally, I farmed 112. I actually think 82 is not bad either. These are both pretty decent options overall, but I used 112 when I farmed it because this base is actually pretty easy to take down. You have 112 on it, you just got to go in and, you know, just pretty much take it down and kill it. And then over here, you'll come over here and face off against this monolith. It does require inorganic and polymer void shards. There's not a great mix, I believe, of this one. But yeah, you'll have to get a bit of both. This one is probably going to take the longest in terms of like void shards. But in terms of getting it, it should be fairly easy because the drop chance is actually pretty good. And considering Luna's Transcendence on this one, it may be a little bit more desirable than the other one, in my opinion. So this is the last one that I would go for. And there you have it. That's gonna be it for this one, guys. That is the way I farm the Secret Garden. For the pieces that I have, which is basically like a couple of pieces away from completely maxing it out, it took me about a total of maybe 6 hours to do. So it wasn't that long of a farm. It was way easier than something like the Enduring Legacy. There's a bit of diversity in this, and you will have to do a lot of void shard farming, but a lot of them actually work really well together, so it should be fairly easy to get it done. Now, if this video did help you out, guys, please consider leaving me a like as well as subscribing to the channel. Leaving a like and subscribing costs you nothing, and it actually helps me quite a bit in continuing to make content. And yeah, just like that, guys, I'll see you in the next one very soon.